Hello, quite far into Friday night, having a few beers, as you can hear, and yeah, I just kind of had a little little discussion with myself, what it was. Where is it? Be up here somewhere now. Max Payne 3. I just felt compelled to watch some reviews on it, so what other people think of it, because for me it was one of those kind of memorable games where you think, wow, I'm glad I really, pardon me, that's a beer speaking through my bumhole. Yeah, it was one of those games that I think, at the end I thought, wow, really glad I experienced that. So then it got me thinking, what games have I played, off the top of my head, that are great games where you think, wow, that was amazing. I mean, today I've completed Batman Arkham City, I've completed loads of great games. Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, pretty much every Halo game. Well, actually no, scratch that, Halo's crap. But I've completed a lot of great games, but there's certain games that you look back and you think, wow, just wow, I'm glad I experienced that. Games that are more of an experience than an actual game. So I made a little notepad kind of list here, which you probably can't see from here with the camera view, which is a good thing, so I'm going to just go through them and hopefully you won't be able to see them. And number one on the list, by the way, the list's in no particular order. Max Payne 3 should be at number one, obviously, but it's not, just because I managed to actually type something down before I put Max Payne 3 in. But number one, Resident Evil 2. I don't know, I just loved it. It was just a great experience playing the game. More action packed than the first game. Great storyline, great atmosphere. Yeah, and by the end of it, you just sat back. And you just sat back thinking, wow, that was a great game. And number two, Max Payne, as I've probably just said. The game itself isn't that great. Well, it is. It's a great, solid game, but the experience of the storyline, kind of the cinematics, the style, the way it all just digs into your brain, absolutely epic, awesome game. Storyline's amazing, and by the end of it I just thought, well, probably about half an hour before the end of it I thought, wow, the ending isn't amazing, the ending's not crap, but it's just like, wow, what an amazing storyline. I kind of had it figured out, but the reason why I had it figured out is because the storyline fits with my kind of twisted mind. Number three, obviously, as I say, this list is in no particular order. Number three on the list is Shenmue. If you've never played this, it is a very slow moving game. Not really much happens in it, but by the end of the game, my God, I mean, you get a job as a forklift driver and literally have to go to work for 3 days just shifting around boxes, and I don't know, the game is just so bloody intriguing. I don't know how it manages to suck you in. I have Shenmue 2 for the Xbox. I cannot play it on my 360 because I don't have a hard drive. Plus my Xbox 360 spat its dummy out and it comes to HDMI leads. So I can only play it on certain TVs at the moment, or I need the new, well, I don't need a new HDMI lead, I just need to swap it for one that I already own. But anyway, Shenmue, I don't know, Dreamcast game, just sucks you in and it's got you. And after that, Deus Ex. Now we used to call this Deus Ex back in the day, and by when I say Deus Ex or Deus Ex or Jews Ex, if you're into Jewish people having sex, but anyway, what I mean by this is the first game, and by that I mean the first game on the PC. There was a PS2 version, but it was highly cut down. The levels were nowhere near as big as the original, etc, etc. And pardon me, it's getting late on and I am burping from the beer. Yeah, the original version on the PC is absolutely epic. I don't know. It was probably the first person role playing game. I don't know. It's kind of like Fallout 3, Oblivion. I've not played Skyrim yet, but it could be like that. But obviously in a more compact scale because it's an older game and there was limitations. But PC version is absolutely epic. There's a PS2 version, it has bits missing, not worth bothering with. PCs are probably cheaper than, well, a PC that can play that is probably cheaper than PS2 nowadays, should I say. So you want to be playing the PC version. Now, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Now, that was my game of the year last year, so 2011. That was an epic game, but for me, Deus Ex, I was in, Deus Ex Human Revolution was like wow, but for what it brought to the first person genre, Deus Ex, the original, or Deus Ex, Juice Ex, whatever you want to call it, absolutely amazing. So moving on from that, BioShock, the first one, amazing. I remember, people were banging on about it. And people bang on about a game, you think, no, I don't. People are banging on about it, I'm not going to get that. And then you play a demo, and that demo, that like 4 minutes or something, just makes you think, wow, I need that game. And this was one of those games, and I can't really say spoilers, but actually, fuck it. Basically, the person who's talking to you all the way through the game. By the way, if you haven't played BioShock, then go fuck yourself. So I'm not interested. I'm not bothered if you've pissed off that I'm giving away spoilers here, because you should have played it. Should have fucking played it. Basically the person who talks to you all through the game, I can't remember whether they say something like please or like yes please or something. I can't remember. It's a certain phrase, and you don't realise until the end that they've said that phrase at the end of every single line that they've said to you all through the game. It's such a simple thing, yet you just overlook it, and then at the end it all becomes clear that they've been fucking controlling you with a few words, and you're kind of brainwashed. And yeah, it's just fucking amazing. At the end you're like, oh shit, why didn't I fucking realise that? And that is exactly what I'm trying to get at. The kind of games that make you feel like that at the end. So moving on from that, BioShock was an RPG, but an RPG that is an RPG and not a first person RP whatever G. Fable 2. Now, this game I thought was absolutely amazing, with your like dog digging holes and shit in the ground, but I did not get on with Fable 3, but Fable 2, epic game. There's so much you can do in the game by fucking properties, and I don't know, it's just have sex with whores, you know, get fucking STDs and shit. So yeah, moving on from that, Alan Wake, an awesome, you know, the game is so atmospheric and creepy. You know, you got the whole flashlight mechanic, and you know, you use your flashlight to weaken your enemies or something. You either strike them or shoot them, that kills them. But yeah, the story in that game's epic, and I love horror movies, and it's definitely one of the best horror kind of games out there. After that, Saints Row 3, epic game. To me, it just blows GTA 4 out of the water. I don't know. I was going to say I don't know what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. This game was fun. GTA 4 for me was absolute fucking misery. I know that in the expansion packs they actually included, well, GTA 4 I'm talking about, they included the ability to not have to go all the way back to the start of the mission, driving it up to the mission, etc, etc. And it's just a fucking fundamental flaw from the game that you can't just fucking start over and over again in GTA 4. It used to fucking wind me up. I gave up on it. But Saints Row 3, it just had me engrossed all the way through it. There's the fucking I need a hero do fucking level and all that shit. Absolutely epic, awesome game. Last game on the list, as I say, this is off the top of my head tonight, having a few beers and thinking and reminiscing and shit. I love that beer. Last on the list, Half-Life 2 Orange Box. Now, Half-Life 2 was a game that I started to play on the PC. Well, Half-Life 2 was... Did I say Half-Life 2 Orange Box? I don't fucking know. Half-Life 2 was a game I started to play on the PC. Got quite far through it, and the problem with PC gaming back then was shit crashed, and I probably lost all the game. And for that reason, I say it a lot on this channel, there's a lot of games I buy that I started playing on the PC, and you know, sometimes even if you download it via a fucking torrent for free, you end up buying it on the bastard console when it's cheap enough, because it doesn't fucking crash as often. And this is a game that I got probably 70% way through it on the PC, crashed, blah blah blah. Played it on the Xbox 360 with the orange box, and yep, and that also meant that I got to play episode, would have been episode 1 and episode 2, or episode 2 and episode 3, I don't fucking know, but as a trilogy of episodes, the game is just epic. You know, it's just an awesome game. So that is a kind of little short list of games that I feel are an experience rather than just a good game. You know, things that kind of leave something with you. You know, you feel like you've had an experience and you've partook in something awesome. So yeah, definitely recommend all of them games, obviously. You know, there are a lot of awesome games out there, but for me, none of them have the epic storylines of the games I mentioned. So thumbs up to the developers of all those games and anyone who's played those games, because they are awesome. And thumbs up to anyone who's going to go out and play them now, because you're not awesome. You should have already played them, so go fuck yourself. Not really. Everything's awesome.